New Year's Eve, a time to sip champagne and sing Auld Lang Syne. Unless, of course, you're a stand-up comic. Then New Year's Eve is just a work day. Let me tell you about New Year's Eve in Alaska. Have you ever been to Alaska? It's north of Oregon, north of Washington, and north of my favorite part of the United States, Canada. Alaska has a lot more men than women. It's all guns, moose, and drinking. Alaska is basically a bar that was given statehood. The first time I worked in Alaska, I was a young comedian, and it was a 700-seat venue. There were 3 acts on the bill. I was the middle act, following a dance troupe that opened the show. I showed up early and eager, notes in hand, wearing a black blazer, jeans, not too much cleavage, closed-toe shoes. The opening act, a dance troupe, showed up with stilettos, sequins, feathers, garters, and thongs. I would be doing my, "Hi, I'm from Kansas," clean comedy act right after the dance troupe called the Bush Company. They were strippers. The next time I performed in Alaska on New Year's Eve, it was a 20,000-seat arena. I was touring with this country band, Lone Star. Baby, I'm amazed by you. Okay. Anyways, this was a big deal. Playing an arena on New Year's Eve, even for a comedian, is a nice payday. But I'd heard that the promoter of this show was a real weasel, and I was worried about getting paid. My agent said, "Oh, don't fret, your money will be at sound check." Sound check came, sound check went, no check. I was stressing. I have 5 kids that like to eat. I needed this money. I tried to call my agent, then my manager, but it was New Year's Eve and my calls were going straight to voicemail. Desperate, I called Lone Star's road manager to see if they got paid. They did. "No problem," he said. "I'll make sure your check is in your dressing room when you get to the venue tonight." I got there, no check. I saw the promoter and asked him. "Would you believe it?" he replied. "I gave the last check to Lone Star. The cash box didn't show up, blah, blah, blah. I promise I'll FedEx your check on Monday." Now, I'd been contracted to perform for 45 minutes of stand-up before Lone Star came on. And if I didn't go on stage, I wasn't going to get paid. And I knew that this guy was going to use any excuse to not pay me. And so I had to hold up every single part of our agreement. 45 minutes, not 44, not 46. And on stage that night, it was brutal. The sound mix got changed from the sound check, and of the 20,000 people, only the people on the floor could hear me. I saw people passed out, throwing up, and I heard a heckler scream, "Take it off, lady!" I wondered if it was a stripper from the Bush Company. Finally, my time of hell came to an end. It was 11:45 p.m. on New Year's Eve. I walk off stage. The crowd is screaming for Lone Star. I am sweating, but I hadn't breached my contract. In the wings, the band members and the promoter are given high fives. Then Richie, the lead singer of the band, looks directly at me. There's stomping feet, the roar of the crowd. He screams the question, "Have you been paid yet?" "No." "Well," Richie said to the promoter, "we're not going on stage until Jennifer has been paid." 11:48. "I'm out of checks. The cash box isn't here." 11:49. The rafters are shaking as 20,000 people stomp and scream, "Lone Star! Lone Star!" At 11:50, the promoter runs to his office and returns with a bag of money. "Are you sure you can carry all this cash, little lady?" "Oh, cash is fine," I tell him. I stuff it in my bra. And at midnight, as Lone Star is singing Auld Lang Syne, I am swaying backstage with crisp $100 bills safely tucked into my bra. I learned this from the strippers at the Bush Company.